Hey everybody!
Hello!
Welcome back to Cowbell Games. So, continuing on with Half-Life Dos. The second.
Dos Sekis.
Dos, the second episode. So, we took a look at some of your suggested topics to talk about. And we've decided that we don't want to talk about any of them.
Yeah.
You know, as you do.
Fuck yourselves.
Yeah, go. Everybody can go fuck themselves. Whoop. What the? Oh. Okay. Whoa. Hey, now. Barney, why'd you follow me in here? Now you're in my way.
Oh boy.
Okay. Got him. Oh shit, there's dudes. I'm dead. Barney's in the way. Oh, 2 health? You gotta be kidding me. I can't get a fucking thought out of my head here. Yeah, we decided that we are gonna start off nice and light and do relationships first. We were asked, what our thoughts are on maintaining relationships and keeping a good relationship, and not necessarily just, you know, as part of like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or married, but like also like friendship relationships.
Yeah.
Because obviously we're the pinnacle of everything. So yeah, go ahead, Dustin.
What?
Yeah, tell them about it. Tell them about relationships.
About which one do we want to talk about?
All the relationships. Tell them about it.
I think it's pretty obvious what makes a good relationship.
A firm hand.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yep, that's it.
No,
Oh, fuck, these guys are gonna die.
I think one of the biggest things for a relationship is, and whether it's friendship or
Barney, you dumb fuck.
marriage or just dating, is the ability,
Wow.
the ability to talk to each other about anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. No communication, like that, it's going to be the end of a relationship. Doesn't matter if it's friendship or not, because I'm sure everybody's had friends out there where, like, even basic communication with them is difficult, where they won't. You always have to be the one that texts them first. I know a lot of people hate that. So that's the biggest thing for friendships.
And I feel like, especially with us, like open communication, where it's not just, you know, it's not just communication period, but it's no judgment communication. Like you can tell each other anything, and it's not, you know, it's not going to affect things like to the point where, oh, I don't like you anymore, I don't want to see you, or whatever the case. You know, it's just like you tell them something and they're like, oh, okay.
And I mean, that can come from both ways. So, for example,
you fucker.
If your wife or husband or boyfriend,
Oh,
girlfriend doesn't want to come to you because, like, they want to have that open communication, but you're just a tough person to talk to, maybe you're too defensive.
Yeah, being defensive is really tough, too, when you talk to somebody, because it gets to the point where you don't want to talk to them anymore, because you just know it's like, okay, if I talk to them, they're just going to shut down and this conversation is going to go nowhere.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to be defensive about the whole thing.
As soon as you say,
oh, shit,
I'm having a problem with something you're doing, I was like, well, fuck you, I'm not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden, oh, fuck, these people are in my way. Then it's more like they start, they don't want to talk about what you're talking about. They want to say, oh, well, these are all the things that I don't like about you now.
Yeah.
It's like, well...
Yeah, well, you have a fucking tiny dick.
Yeah, it's like, okay, you know, we can talk about that, but you can't just start insulting me whenever I want to talk to you about something that, you know, that I have a problem with.
How did we go from you getting mad at me for eating the last of the Doritos to I have a tiny dick?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dear.
I think that's probably the biggest thing is open communication. Number 2,
oh, fuck off,
and a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, you need your own separate lives. I know people say, oh, they're my everything, we do everything together and it's great for us. I've been in those kind of relationships and they seem great until you guys break up and then you feel isolated. Doing everything together, chances are if you're doing everything together that you don't have the exact same hobbies as each other. So one or both of you are missing out on doing something that you enjoy. I know for me in the past dating people, it was I had to give up video games.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I don't know why this is, but a lot of people, there's a stigma, I guess, around video games.
Yeah.
And so they think as like anybody that plays video games is a loser and it's stupid, and it's like, okay, well that's just a hobby. You know, I don't think that your hobbies are stupid. Like, you like to go running and working out. I think that's stupid.
Who runs?
Who runs for fun? That's dumb.
No, I agree with you.
Everybody's gonna have their hobbies, and let them have their hobbies. Don't try and change things that they like. You know. Because that's the stuff that makes them happy, and as soon as you take that away from them, they're automatically already not happy anymore.
Exactly. So your personal opinions on something, if you get like upset that somebody's spending their time a certain way, your personal opinion is now worth more than that person's happiness. If they enjoy, I mean, let's keep it low key here. I'm not advocating drug use or anything like that. If it's something that is harmful, then obviously that's not the case. And video games can be harmful. They can
addiction, yeah, video game addiction, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing, but if your husband or wife wants to play for maybe an hour a night or a few hours a week, that's something that makes them happy. That's their wind down time. But when it goes to you need your own lives, like going out separately, so I know...
Really? God damn it.
I know you guys do it, and we do it as well, where she'll go out with her friends, and it's one night, and maybe another night I'm out with my friends. A lot of times you do go together, but I do believe that you need that separation time. Like...
Well, and you can't expect to always spend 100% of your time together. And you know what? Sometimes some people do expect that. Like, that to them, that's a relationship.
Yeah.
And like, I understand, you know, wanting to spend time with the other person, but that's a good way to smother somebody.
Yeah.
And you know what? Friendships can be like that too. Like, there's some friends who just, they want to hang out all the time. And you know what? Life doesn't work that way. You don't always have all the time in the world to spend with them. And especially friends that get mad when you don't have all this time to spend with them all the time.
Yeah,
like, why are you getting mad that I can't spend every second of the day with you? Like, you have a life, I've got a life. Why is that making you mad?
And I know I just talked about communication and having that basic communication.
I'm gonna fucking do this.
But at the same time, specifically for friendships, I mean, you and I, if we didn't talk every day, it wouldn't be a fucking issue.
No,
I mean,
there's been times when we've gone like weeks without talking to each other.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're still friends. We're still fine.
Like, nothing would ever change, but I've had friends where, you know, you don't talk to them for a day or two because life gets busy, and then it's like, well, are we even friends anymore?
Yeah, exactly.
I had to drop a friend like that recently. I had enough. It's like,
God damn it.
My life is busy. Like, I'm getting married, different career, like all these things. I'm really building up my life, and yeah, if I don't talk to you for 3 days or so, like, it doesn't mean that I don't care about you. It's that I'm busy, but if you need something or you need to talk about something, I will answer.
Yeah.
If it's super important. I'm just, yeah.
Yeah. Some people expect too much. And it's like, it's not that you don't want to spend time with them, and sometimes, you know, you can really like spending time with them, but it gets to the point where you're almost sick of them.
Yeah. It's funny that you say the word expect, because that was another point, is specifically for relationships and first time dating. Good Lord. I think the biggest thing that kills people in early relationships is expectation. It's like, I want the perfect person. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that you're never going to find the perfect person. It's up to you to find somebody who can be a friend and eventually a best friend, and you grow together and you become that couple together. It's not an instantaneous fall in love. As somebody that's been in many long-term relationships, you learn what you want. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's give and take. Is my fiance covering all points of what I would like? No, but she tries.
Well, yeah, you like. No, everybody's always like, oh, I want to find my perfect person, and you should never settle, and this and that. And it's like, as much as everybody loves to believe that there's the perfect person for everybody out there, nobody's perfect. You're never gonna find the perfect person. Yeah, you might find somebody who checks off like almost every checkbox on your list, but you're really never gonna find that one person that hits every single thing. There's always gonna be something that just doesn't quite work for you. Yeah. And you know what? You can't just say, oh, okay, well, that doesn't work for me, so we're done.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how that works. You know, relationships, and I'm sure it's kind of cliche to hear, but relationships are exactly that. You have to work at them.
Yeah. I personally don't believe the one exists. I think you make your one. Like
exactly.
You meet someone that you have, you know, your basic personality sparks, let's call them sparks, and like you have basic same interests, you know, maybe you have different tastes in music, or maybe they don't like video games, but a lot of times, like, it's a lot of compromise. So maybe they have something that you don't like to do, well, try it.
And you know what, that's honestly a good thing, like, yeah, to have some interests that you don't necessarily share.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's, like, one of the things about it is that it's, you know, it's something new for you. If you get into it, great. Otherwise, well, great. That's something that they can do without you. Because, like, expecting to always have, you know, the exact same interest and want to do the same thing all the time, that's never gonna happen.
It's a fucking pipe dream.
Exactly. That's never gonna happen. So it's better if you each have some of your own interests.
So yeah. So what have we covered?
Relationships. A little bit of everything.
So specifically, I don't know, we got straight into romantic relationships.
We did talk about some friendship stuff too.
That's very basic, though. I feel like just don't be a dick and.
But it's not like some people they just work differently. You know, like there's one thing about friends and the way it should be is, I feel like people just too easily cut anybody out of their lives for doing one thing.
Oh my god, that's the biggest thing. Like, relationships, specifically romantic relationships, I don't understand how people can give up so easily. It's like, oh, you know what, I'm a year in, it's not completely perfect, maybe it could be better. Then make it better. Do you not love this person?
Well, they don't want to try it anymore, right? They just want it to be... Oh, fuck. They're just like, okay, this isn't perfect. We're done.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to go find somebody that is. And it's like, you're not going to. Why? You know, I don't know.
Relationships, long-term relationships specifically, you will run into money problems. You will have disagreements. You will have issues with your kids where you disagree on how you parent them.
Well, that's another tough kind of subject to talk about, is relationships between parents and kids.
Yeah.
Because that's one that changes, like, throughout a kid's life, you know, while they're living at home from age, you know, 0 to 18, that relationship is going to change like 10 times in that course as the kid grows up and starts growing up as a person, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's one that, I don't know, like, obviously I can't talk too much about it. I'm not a parent.
Yeah.
You know, and it's different for everybody. Some people have children that are just like perfect. They never have problems with them. You know, maybe they will later in life, but they don't have a lot of the same problems that you know, other parents will have. Like some people have a lot of... Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I'm dead again. Woo! Here we go. Hey, there we go. Great. One generator to go. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I forget what I was saying, actually.
Parents.
Yes.
And how relationship changes, and...
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Damn. Changes as they go. Oh yeah, every kid's different. That's kind of what I was saying. It's like, yeah, I'm not a parent, obviously. You know, we have subs that are parents, and you know that relationship is going to change a lot as they go. And some parents, it's kind of the same thing. It's like it's something you have to work at, and it's kind of like an unconditional. Jesus Christ, unconditional love that you kind of have to have. Great. I've never had this much trouble on this part before. Unconditional love that you have to have, and like forgiveness is a big thing in any relationship. Friendships, you know, romantic relationships with your kids. Nobody's perfect. We've already said that nobody's perfect. They're gonna make mistakes, and that's kind of something you have to accept. Is mistakes are gonna be made.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are and what kind of relationship you have. Somebody's gonna make a mistake. Now, I mean, there are some mistakes that are bigger than others. Like obviously, when we talk about cheating.
And some people can get over that.
And,
I don't know how.
I know that's probably one of the toughest things to get over, and some people can, which is, I mean, amazing. You made it work. Good job, but I don't know. It's such a big thing and such a big strain on the relationship because that's just from now until forever. That's something that's going to loom over you.
Yeah.
Like
there's no way that things would ever be the same.
No, how could they be? Like even if you make it work, I feel like now that relationship, oh Jesus, that relationship is just never going to be the same now.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I guess the biggest thing for relationships in general is communication, acceptance of each other as who that person is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just and not to explain it, but there's something to be said for keeping a calm head as well.
That's a thing that a lot of people can't do is argue calmly.
Yeah.
Like me and my girlfriend, like obviously everybody has arguments.
Yeah.
But one thing that we normally do really well is don't get like super emotional during an argument because that's when the argument's just gonna break down.
Yeah.
And I mean that doesn't just go for romantic relationships. Like that's friends and romantic relationships alike.
Yeah.
Like that can happen to any relationship really. But if you can keep a level head and also think about it from the other person's point of view and also how what you're saying, how that's going to come across to the other person, because it's really easy to just let emotions take over and say stuff that it comes from an emotional place. And it's not necessarily something you would ever say and don't want to say, but you do say it.
That's why I've never understood that. Like, if you care about that person this much, then how are you willing to make them feel terrible? Like, thinking about
God damn it.
If I were to ever make my fiance feel any sort of sadness, God, I don't like think about other people making her upset. It makes me rage.
Yeah.
But, well, the last thing for relationships I would say is sex. So, listen up, parents.
There you go.
No, if we were together and you had a kink, I would explore it with you. Because you have to make them feel satisfied. Or you have to at least try to make them feel satisfied.
And you know what? A lot of people will be like, oh, it's not all about sex. And at the same time, you're like, well, it's kind of about it.
If we want to give it a number, sex is probably 20% of a relationship. Let's be honest.
Because it's still like it's an intimate thing that really only you two are going to share. I mean, obviously there's exceptions to the rule and like cheating, but really that's only something that you two are going to have with each other. So it's like something that you and her, or you and him, or whoever, you and your partner, you have that you don't have with anybody else. So it is a part of a relationship because that's something that is special to you guys.
And if you are not willing to explore with something that they might like, chances are they're going to feel unfulfilled in that relationship. And if it's a strong desire that they have, then it might be detrimental to your relationship. You don't know.
Yeah. not everybody's going to be the same. Obviously, everybody puts different weights on different parts of the relationship. You know, that might be that may be a 5% to somebody, right? It's going to be different, but so we're going to leave off the episode there, but yeah, basically our advice and our opinions on relationships, all kinds of relationships.
Yeah.
It's always something you're going to have to work at, and I don't know, it's like anything. It takes time. Don't be quick to make any big decisions in relationships.
No.
Like don't make decisions out of anger or spur of the moment, that kind of stuff, because I mean that leads to a lot of problems. Like when you're willing to cut somebody out of your life instantly like that. Like how good of a friend could they really have been if you can you can cut them out of your life that easily?
Which, if you're willing to cut people out of your life that easily, maybe you should look at yourself a little bit more as well.
That too. That would make you a pretty fickle person if you're just willing to cut people out of your life like that.
If you're somebody that cuts people out of your life and you don't have a best friend, which I know a lot of people do, maybe you're the problem.
Yeah. And some people they don't look at themselves, they'll look at everything else as there's got to be a problem somewhere here, instead of like, yeah, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe it's my attitude that is causing me to have these problems.
It's never me. That's pretty much everybody's perception.
Pretty
it's
much.
Never me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, well, there it is. All right, we'll see you guys later.
Goodbye.
Bye.